Well, today's going to be a little bit different. I'm in a Hobie Compass. And it's not my compass. My friend's moving down here the 1st of June. So he got one and had it shipped, so it was all ready to go. And I'm just kind of giving her a little test. Just to see how different it feels from my Outback. And I'll do some comparisons along the way. I've only went 200 yards in it so far, so I can say right away I feel slightly higher above the water, which I actually like. Alright, so while we're on the way to the area I want to fish in, let's go ahead and talk about stuff I kind of noticed along the way. So we just left off with how I feel a little bit higher, which I like. And I do think I am a little bit higher. It's not just a feeling of being higher. And the seat, I really can't tell the difference between comfort, so that's something I'll touch on after I'm on my way back and I'm on it for a while. But I mean, so far I like sitting in this and sitting in my Outback seat. I mean, there's not, I can't really tell. But one thing I noticed on stability is I think the compass, I haven't stood up on it yet. I'm going to when I get to my spot, but just going back on the feeling like I'm up higher, just I feel like it's less tippy, like slightly less tippy, but I don't think it's more stable. I think it's just maybe the secondary stability kicks in quicker than the 2019 Outback, but that might just be me. But as far as just feeling, it feels like it's a little bit more stable, like a little bit less tippy feeling initially. So I'll definitely be able to tell when I stand up and get a better feel for the actual stability. I got a flounder or something here. Man, this wind is getting a little ridiculous. That's one more thing. I noticed that the wind, since this is a little bit, I guess, a taller kayak than mine, it does push you around a little bit more. Nothing too severe, but it's definitely noticeable. I don't know if he'll be a keeper or not. I think he is. Alright, let's see if he's a keeper. I think he's going to be just shy. Yep, he is just shy of 15. That's alright. The main objective today was to test out the compass, so this is just a bonus. And the water's nasty. I was starting off throwing top water until this wind started picking up pretty good. All right, buddy. You got about another ½ inch. All right, a couple things I want to add. I'm doing this as I'm going because I know I'll end up forgetting. One thing, there's only one paddle park on this side. I'm sure that you can put another one over here if you want. But as far as just right out the get-go buying one, so I have the stakeout pole and the paddle on one, which ain't too bad. It's not, you know, it's not really all that bad at all, to be honest. But another thing I'm missing is 2 rudder controls. And another thing that I really like, I can't tell unless I actually measured, but I feel way more roomier in the Compass. Like probably through and through, probably from the seat all the way to the nose. I feel like I have a lot more room. So that's definitely a positive. If you want to check out, I'm not going to come out in my Outback and do a video because I already did one, and I'll go ahead and put it at the end of this video, and I'll put a link in the description. It's just the 2019 Outback versus my Jackson Coosa FD. So as far as like an on water review type deal, that would probably be better to watch if you want like the Outback's point of view, because I really don't want to go through it again. But I want to keep fishing, and once I get to a better wind protected spot, I'll stand up and see what I think about like the initial stability. I just got slammed by a flounder, I think. Another dink. Well, before I crash, I'm gonna have to say that I honestly think that maybe the Outback is a little bit easier to get into the standing position, just a little bit, but the Compass feels a little bit better once you're standing as far as stability goes. And that's even in this chop. Typically I don't even stand up and mess around when it's this choppy, but I wanted to see how this felt, and if it felt pretty good in a chop, like I really think it does feel a little bit better than my Outback. So it's been about 3.5 hours, and so we'll start off with comfort. As far as comfort goes, if we're going to just talk about the seat, I can't tell a difference as far as how good or bad it feels. But I'm gonna have to say, I think just the openness of the Compass, I feel like it's a little more comfortable. That being said, though, you have to give up stuff like storage options, and which is something I'm really picky about. So all right, let's move on to storage, I guess. Definitely the Outback. Like I said, I'm real picky. Like I don't carry a lot of stuff, but the stuff that I do carry, I have to have like somewhat separated. Kind of OCD about it. Like as you can see, I got leader line, a little thing of pliers, and my Boga grips in one pocket, and stuff like that. I can't deal with. I'm sure for a lot of people that you know doesn't mean anything, but I don't know, maybe I'm weird. But yeah, so far as storage, leaps and bounds the Outback, but there's plenty enough storage on here if you just get, I mean, you can add 2 more mat pockets if you wanted to, and a lot of people put a crate. I never use a crate, so that could just be my fault, but I rather have the majority of my stuff up front, and you know, just at an arm's reach or less. Tracking. I think the Outback does track slightly better. Not a huge difference though, but I mean, you can definitely tell if you want to go in a straight line for like an extended period of time, but it's just barely. Like, you might have to touch your rudder once or twice. Turning, I think the Compass turns sharper, and that's, you know, primarily because it is shorter. I think it's just as responsive, if not a little bit more than the Outback. And I did do a couple just runs in reverse. It also, you know, just like going forward, it turns a little bit better in reverse, which isn't a huge deal, but I just wanted to see. All right, now the speed of it, I can't tell a difference. I'm sure there's a slight difference. I mean, I feel like the Outback is going to be a little bit faster just because it's longer, but I don't think it's not a deciding factor by any means. I got a fish. Hey. All right, well, wasn't expecting that. But anyway, I don't think it's a deciding factor by any means. I wonder if he's a keeper. I don't think so. I've seen that little shrimp pop, and I did land a couple flounder in here, so I can just tell already, it's, as far as the room goes, I think it's gonna be better landing a red in this than what it is the Outback. Hey. All right, that wasn't unexpected, so we'll get back to the, the comparison here here in just a minute. He is a little over 18 1/4. So I will take him. We'll make some more casts and get back to the Compass stuff. At least his tail don't look quite as bad as the other ones. All right, to kind of wrap up the comparison part, I'm gonna have to say, if you are deciding between an Outback and a Compass, and storage is not a huge issue for you, if you already like to put most of your stuff in the milk crate in the back, I'm gonna say go with the Compass. Because honestly, as far as fishability and comfort, I feel like I'm in my Outback. But when I go to reach for stuff, that's when I can kind of tell I'm not in my Outback. And wanting to use my rudder on the right hand side and it's not there on the Compass, I can notice that. But yeah, I'm gonna have to say, if you're on the fence between the two and storage isn't an issue, I would go with the Compass. If money isn't an issue, I would go with the Outback. Because once you get the 180 drive, if that's an option that you're looking at, once you get the 180 drive and the turbo fins, you're looking at about in the $400 range difference between the two. So if you have that extra 400 and whatnot, I mean, I'd probably definitely go with the Outback just because you do have the storage. But man, this is I mean, I love this thing. Like I said, if I wasn't so picky about storage and whatnot, I would probably just go with this if I had to do it all over again. But like in my Jackson, like I mean, there's a load of differences there, but like as far as one of the issues was, I mean, I wish I had more storage and just ease of access. So, well, I think I'm gonna wrap her up. The tide's kind of dead. At least wrap up the comparison part, and I'm gonna just keep fishing, and hopefully I'll get a couple before I decide to go back in, fish my way back. And that's basically all I got for the comparisons. I mean, like I said, I like them both, so I guess it's down to nitpicking between if someone wants to make a decision off of this video. Then we'll just do a quick little area of the cockpit here. You don't have a standard hatch with a compass. You can put one on the compass if you want to. So we got the main cockpit area here. I can't tell 100% by eyeball until I get out on the water, but I think mine looks wider on the inside, maybe. At least, I can't even tell. That's something that's gonna have to be on the water thing. But actually, I think the compass looks a little bit wider down by the feet or the pedals. All right, and then he went ahead and got map pockets to have a little bit of storage. My whole thing is storage and organization, so I won't know if how big of a factor that's going to play until I get the compass out on the water. But so he went ahead and got the 2 map pockets so you can store some stuff, and Outback comes with the map pockets already installed, and you get 1 cup holder for the compass, 2 for the Outback. The seats, I did sit in Carolina Kayak Adventures, Tony, his seat, but that was a long time ago, so I don't know comfort. I'm almost going to think that the compass seat may be more comfortable, just from what I remember sitting in Tony's, but it was only for like 5 minutes. Like we just kind of swapped kayaks when I had the Jackson, so we didn't do an in-depth like trip out of them, but we'll find out. You got the square hatch with the insert that comes standard with the Outback, and we got the standard circle hatch at the compass. The insert for that is on the way, along with the Trax 2 cart that just didn't come in the shipment. Let's see, let's go around to the back. Oh, and in the Outback you got these little trays, I call them. And in the back, the Outback's definitely a bigger rear well, but I didn't remember the Hobie or the Compass having. That's a pretty big tank well in comparison, like to what I thought I remembered about them. But yeah, the back end's pretty much the same. Got the back end of the Outback and the back end of the Compass. Pretty much the same. But yeah, I can't wait to get this out on the water and fish for a while. I do think I'm going to be up higher in the Compass, which is just by looking at it, because it is a little higher in general, but the seat also comes up a little bit higher. I'm shooting this video before my on the water, but you will probably see the on the water first. So that's it, just a quick rundown of the inside, and then I'm going to fish from it. Well, I've officially worked all the grass line I planned on working before I went back, and no dice, so I just want to get out here on a different kayak and just give it a little test. I've been on a Compass before, but I never fished from it and thoroughly, like, you know, used one. So anyways, I'm gonna wrap her up there, and if you guys liked the video, leave a like. If you liked it, consider subscribing. This wind's getting out of hand, and I'll see you next time.